Welcome to Gentry's Garage. Well, we've made a lot of progress on the C60 crew cab. Let me show you what we've done. I pretty much formed the bottom half of the rear door. Now, if you're really short of cash, I'm within half an inch of using the stock window. Okay? I'm not really too concerned about it at this point because I'm going to make all new glass. But if you're really short of money, set your glass in and then you can adjust it just a little bit shorter. And I'm talking about it's within half an inch. So we've got bits and pieces of the other doors that we cut up, and you can see where the direction we are going in. Okay, I'll take this stuff off real quick. Actually, I'll leave that one since it's staying. And we'll talk about what I'm going to do on the floor. Okay, so as you can see, the floor is pretty sad. And plus, since it's a crew cab, I really don't want all these bumps. So I'm going to be using the floor in the 2008 Duramax Extra Cab, and I got these side panels. And I took out the bumps. So they're going to go in here and here. Okay? So there'll be no bump and it'll be flat. I've got to change my bracing because it's not going to work after I get these sides on. So I have to move the bracing to the jambs after I get the inner jamb, and I've got these panels here, and I'm going to be cutting off one end and extending them so that it all goes straight. We're going to be using, for sure, the 2008 latching system for the rear door. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use the 2008 door locks or the stock locks at this point. So that's something for the future. And I thought I'd show you this. If I don't form the whole thing, I will use these from some of the doors I cut up and put it here. I got the piece here that will go here, and now I'll flatten it up. We're going to be using the J10 hinges here because it turns out that the 2008 hinges, which are really cool and fold backwards the whole way, rather than 90 degrees for the earlier J10 hinges, the later ones are only 45 degrees. And also because it was at an angle, and it would be too much geometry. But we're going to be using these J10 hinges here for the back door. We got that. So on the door itself, at least the rear doors, we're going to be, this was a hard decision also because there's too many protrusions going in and out. I had to find a place where it was even. So I will be cutting this here, and if you look, that's going to look pretty sweet. Nice and big opening. It's going to be nice. And then for this hinge area, I'm using the B pillar here, and it's going to fit in right here. So I'm going to be welding a lot of stuff up soon, but it is mapped out. As far as I tell you, when I was in high school, I worked at a dirt track shop for a summer, and I called myself a tin bender. Yeah, making 2 bends and a bead roll on a piece of really thin aluminum. No, that wasn't a tin bender. I sat there and made both of these. This one is near perfect. Okay? This one was a little bit high, so I took it to the Harbor Freight throatless shear, and the blade came out, and I said, you know what? And found Dynacorn made these panels for and they call it the inner roof panel. And I've been trimming them up, and you can go this way, or I can take the other side. One thing to note, since the mid to late 20s, cars are not completely straight. They're slightly bowed, and it's a visual thing. If anybody knows where there was a Fisher book, a Fisher body book that did it back in the 20s. If anybody's got one, I'd like to buy that from you. But it explained exactly why they crown it, and it makes it smoother. So this actually bows out. Even on the single cab, it bows and then comes in. Okay? So I have to figure out where I'm going to cut it. But what's nice is I'm going to have one area that I can slide up over and make it even stronger, which I really need for the latch area on the top. As far as the roof goes, I'm going to be cutting out the center and doing a suburban type roof. So it won't have the sheet metal in the center because I don't want to buy another panel. And I also am considering using a sunroof. I picked up a Ford, I don't remember the year right off the top of my head, but it actually has a little bit too much crown on the glass, so I might not use it, but I really would like to have a sunroof because I like driving at night, and if I'm driving at night, I kind of like to have it open. It's just nice. So yeah, I might deal with a water leakage issue, especially being here in Texas where it's sprinkling right now, but it was raining. Anyway, that's enough for this update. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to comment. Like and subscribe. You know what's up. Bye. You have to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I'll come and your ass.